Well, for this YouTube video, I'm gonna have a pack of lollies, which is not proudly sponsored by Allen's. Oh, so good. Today we're talking about prime lenses. What are they and why do I use them? If you're a wedding photographer like me, then you're probably at this point, if you're starting out, just looking at, what lenses you should invest in before you start your business. If you're an amateur photographer wanting to level up your game, then this might be a great video for you to watch. If you're a client of mine who's happened to stumble across this video, this might not be as relevant to you, but either way, if you're interested in photography, then stay tuned. In this short and punchy video today, I'm going to break down two of my favorite lenses that I use all the time at each and every wedding that I photograph. Now, bear in mind, this isn't something that you have to follow to the T, it's just the opinion of one person. You might have your own creative style or something that you like to use, or a lens choice that worked really, really well for you. But first off, let's just talk about prime lenses itself. Why do I use prime lenses? Well, prime lenses are actually fixed lenses, so the first thing you need to understand is that you're not really zooming in and out, so unlike variable lenses, you have to constantly keep moving. So the reason as to why I choose fixed lenses is because it encourages me to use my most creative mindset and really move a lot for my images. Sometimes if I'm working in an open environment, I have a lot of room to play with, and therefore I have a lot of time to move from one space to the other space just to get a great shot. Now, some might argue that yes, you could have done the exact same thing in, say, a variable zoom lens if I needed to zoom in or if I'm zoomed out, especially in a tight corner, which brings me to our second point, but that means that you might not have access to a wide range of aperture choices. Now, in my case, most of my lenses go down to 1.4, which means it is pretty wide and allows me to have that shallow depth of field. If you don't know what shallow depth of field is, just maybe pause this video and just go watch another video, aka the blurry background, which most brides and grooms really, really love in their images. Another reason as to why I love prime lenses is because of their abilities to capture images within low light capabilities. As they can go down to really wide apertures, it does let in more light into the camera lens, therefore you are able to get better images, especially in low light conditions. Now, this is especially favorable if you're capturing, say, receptions in like very dull lit environments, or sometimes maybe your venue might have black ceilings or maybe not enough natural window light for you to capture your bride and groom. Therefore, if you put on a prime lens and you go all the way down to say 1.4 or 1.8, depending on what lens it is, you might have a better opportunity to capture, better well lit images just because your camera is now letting in more light to the lens. Another reason as to why fixed lens or prime lenses are more favorable is because of the quality of the glass. Now, this is again subjective, and there are some brands that do really great variable lenses with amazing glass quality. However, overall, the general understanding is that prime lenses have a better quality glass, which means that your images might be a bit more tack sharp. Now, if you're like me and you like pixel peeping into all the corner of the images and making sure that everything's all in focus, then that's going to be great for you. If you're not too fussed about how tack sharp your images are, then that's also okay. However, for the added benefit, if you're focusing a lot on getting that nailed shot where everything's in focus and everything has to be, crystal clean and just really precise, prime lenses is probably going to help you out a lot more than maybe a variable zoom lens would. Alright, let's get to the part where I show you exactly what two lenses I love to use at every single wedding. Coming up, we have the... drum roll. The 35mm. Now, the 35mm is a really great lens for everyone to have in their kit. I can't stress enough for how amazing this lens is. It's so versatile, and to be honest, I've actually used this for not just wide shots, but even like portrait shots as well, which help a lot in most of the way I photograph. It's especially great for photojournalism when you're capturing images in a wide variety of formats, different rooms, different lighting conditions, and you just need a lens to do it all for you. I always think the 35 is a great option. Now, although this is the Sigma Art series, I honestly think it's absolutely amazing. And for those people watching this now and they're like, oh, well, I only use Canon L glass, or I prefer maybe the Sony lenses if you've got a a7 III. Look, do your own research. I've never really found there to be much difference between, a Sigma 35 versus a Canon 35. Of course, if you've got the extra dollar to spend and you want to go for, your main camera body's glass, then by all means, go for it. However, third-party lenses are just as great and can do the exact same thing with a similar comparative quality. Now, my second and perhaps one of my most popular lenses, as well as the 35, is actually the first lens I ever bought. Fun fact, when I started my photography gear journey and, purchasing everything, I purchased my Canon 5D Mark IV, and my first lens wasn't even a 24-70 like most people would suggest or recommend, or not even a 50, which is kind of in between everything. It was actually the 85. Now, if someone were to tell me that, hey, you could do events coverage as a beginner with an 85 lens, I probably wouldn't believe them, because I struggled a lot as a beginner using an 85mm. Why I bought this lens was for the main amazing feature of its compression. This lens at an 85mm focal range, it has the ability to really compress that background and also shoot at 1.4. So not only is it amazing at low light, but it can really create a nice shallow depth of field. Again, the blurry background. When I'm photographing weddings, I generally have 2 camera bodies on me at all times. If you're starting out with weddings, I highly recommend you to have the same, because you never really know what's going to happen to one camera body, just in case. These 2 combos have served me so incredibly well. So for anyone starting out, I highly recommend the 35 and 85 combo, because you're going to get a wide range of different shots, different focal lengths, and different images to deliver to your clients when your gallery is finally done. That's it, guys, just a short and punchy video. If you guys did like this video, show it some love, hit that like button, comment down below, and also let me know, what lenses do you like to use? What's your favorite combination? Like, is it the 125 and the 24? If that's a combination that people use, then good. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what lenses that you guys really enjoy to shoot, especially on your wedding days. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace.